get over it. It's been 2 years.
Just stop it.
Move on.
Stop it or I'll bury you alive in a box.
Oh my gosh, that escalated quickly. Mended Light. We polled our Mended Light community for terrible advice given to them by therapists. And one thing that was said by a therapist is, it's been 2 years, why is it still bothering you? Now, even having no context for why a therapist would say that.
I think they should have said it's been 730 days.
Is that the number? 365. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
This is why you do our taxes. Why is this bad? This is bad, right?
Here's the thing. We've both gone through some hard things in life. And then, of course, everyone, audience, has gone through many similar hard things, other hard things, right?
You've been divorced. I've lost a parent.
Yeah.
I could have listed more. I didn't feel like
Keep going.
I didn't
Keep
feel
going.
like filling up the episode. Some stuff, like some heavy stuff.
Right. And there is no timetable to grief, right? And there isn't a timetable to healing. And more than that, it's not another person's place to waddle into your journey and say, here's how you need to be doing it differently.
Not slide, not parachute down, but waddle in like a platypus. Well,
Let me throw my weight around and tell you, let me tell you what you need to be doing differently. I'm going to shit on you.
Yeah, you should all over me. So here's the thing. People who establish timelines for other people, they do that for one of two reasons.
Okay.
One, they've never been there, but they think they know, and they're stupid and they should stop. Or two, they've been there, and so they think they know what the process should look like for somebody else.
Based off of their experience.
And they're stupid and they should stop. It's a very judgmental thing for me to say, to call someone stupid.
So what you're saying is they're stupid and they should stop. I feel like maybe you're passing judgment, and if you just get a little more judgment in there, it would get better.
What I'm saying is we've had a long couple shoot days and I'm kind of grouchy right now. I will recant they're stupid, but they should stop. And the reason is because no two experiences are the same, right? So in my case, I lost a parent. I don't know what it's like for somebody else to lose a parent. I know what it's like for me to lose a parent. I don't know what their process looks like. I know what mine was. And you can't just copy and paste your experience onto somebody else's. It is true that what I have learned through my experience might be helpful to somebody else, but
supportive.
But the packaging should never be, here's what you should do, or if you're not doing it the way I did it, there's something wrong with you. That's an exceptionally arrogant place to come at it from.
It's not a supportive, right?
No.
Because your experience is valuable because you share it in a supportive way.
Right?
And this perspective is not supportive. It's just judgment.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of judgment, a lot of the reason why people establish timelines for another person's healing is because they don't understand it, or they just want it to go away. It's a bother, or it's annoying.
Or your discomfort is making me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So therefore you need to stop.
Just make it go away. I remember one time my mom was really good at empathy. That was her superpower. And I had a girl break my heart, and
it wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you. It was several months later, and she was asking me about dating. And I said that I wasn't interested in dating anybody. Like, I was still hurting and still just taking care of myself. And I'll never forget, she said, I didn't realize how badly she hurt you. And she said, I'm so sorry. Because in her mind, I'm in college, different state. You date, you break up, you date, you break up, whatever.
Yeah.
And so she wasn't there to really realize, oh, no, this really put him through the ringer. And instead of saying, it's been 3 months, move on, or it's been 3 months, get over, she said, I didn't realize how bad that this hurt you, and I'm sorry.
That's powerful.
Which was, it was super powerful for me. It was very validating. And, it helped me to not guilt or shame myself or should myself of what this was supposed to look like.
Well, and you and I have talked about this quite a bit, just in life and relationships, but everybody has the need to be seen and heard and understood.
Yeah.
Right? And there's lots of ways to do that. And of course, your mom always sought to seek and hear and understand you. But even in those moments when she didn't, she later realized and then expressed empathy, where you felt seen and heard and understood, like that
Yeah.
validation was there.
Yeah. And nobody's going to be perfect at any of that process. So what would I say to somebody in therapy whose previous therapist said this to them?
Yeah.
I would say take all the time you need. There's a difference between choosing not to move forward out of fear and taking a long time because something or someone meant a lot to you.
Right.
And even taking a long time, I don't even want to phrase it that way because that's a subjective judgment. What is long? You know, it's taking the time you need.
Well, and there's the saying, time heals all wounds. And
Mhm.
there is truth that time can be healing, but it's not true that time is all it takes.
Correct. Yeah. Because sometimes if you give it time, it just means you suffer longer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like if your partner cheated on you, there's more than just time. They have to be humble. They have to be accountable. They have to take full ownership and be transparent. They have to end that relationship, and they have to be able to sit with your hurt, your anger, your frustration anytime you bring it up without getting defensive, without minimizing or justifying.
Right.
And
then be willing to go through the process of rebuilding trust.
yeah, and go through that process. If you lose someone to death,
Mm-hmm.
the whole grief process, I mean, you talk about the 5 stages of grief as one model. There's various models of what grief looks like. But if you're not doing the work to heal, it doesn't matter how long you give it. But someone who says you should be over it by now, they're looking at time. And the question I would ask is, okay, it's been 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you feel like your healing journey is succeeding? And what work do you still feel like you have to do?
Right.
I would take the timestamp off it completely. Because I could ask that same question 3 months in,
Right.
or 2 weeks in, or 4 years in. You know, what do you feel like you're doing for your healing, and what are you feeling is lacking right now, and how can I help? That would be the conversation to have.
Right.
Stupid therapists. So let's talk about together. Let's put our heads together, and let's talk about what would be some steps to healing, even no matter what it is, whether it's a breakup, whether it's a loss, whether it's an opportunity that you wanted and that passed you by.
A major life event.
Yeah, or a major life event. Or, 2020, 2021. Like, how do we recover
Mm-hmm.
from everything that's happened?
Mm-hmm.
Steps for healing.
I would say number 1, allow yourself to grieve.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's a broken relationship, whether it's a death,
Yeah.
whether it's a missed opportunity, a trauma, like something that happened in your life that you had no control over, that you would never choose,
Yeah.
and it just showed up. Like, allow yourself to grieve for what could have been.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to grieve for what you wanted but didn't happen. Allow yourself to grieve for the choices other people made that affected you, and that it sucked.
Yeah, and that it sucked. And that it sucked big time. Well, and one of the most damning things, and by damning, I'm thinking like an actual dam that holds water back that could be flowing, the thing that dams up our healing and just blocks it, are the simple words, I shouldn't be so upset, it's not that big a deal.
Right.
You are keeping yourself from grieving by saying, I have no right to grieve. Or, the Olympics
You're rejecting your own grief.
Well, the Olympics of suffering, that somebody else has had it worse, therefore my grief is invalid. Or my struggles are invalid. It's all struggle. It's all difficult. It's all pain. It's all hurt. It's all sadness. Let yourself grieve. After letting yourself grieve, or maybe even in tandem with it, is also letting yourself hope. Sometimes we lose enough, and hope is a scary thing to do. We hope we can get hurt again. So we'd rather stay down here in this hopeless place. Because it's like, if I climb the ladder and I fall, it hurts worse than if I just stay here.
Right.
But then I also never climb the ladder and get up here to this place that I want to be at. So allow yourself to hope, and recognize that with hope will come some pain, will come some setbacks, will come some heartaches. But that's also where the success lies. Surround yourself with positive people who believe in you, people who love you and accept you. And if the people in your life don't love and accept you, surround yourself with new people, or bring the people that you have to therapy.
Create a safe space.
Yeah, create a safe space.
And in that creation of safe space, allow yourself to process whatever it was you experienced, whether it was a loss or a death or a traumatic event. Find that place that you are allowed to just unfiltered process what happened for you and how it affected you.
Well, and speaking of unfiltered, then eliminating judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm feeling, it's okay that I'm thinking and feeling it. It may not be right. Like if I have hurtful feelings towards another person, those may ultimately be proven wrong or not helpful to like direct them at that person. But the fact that I'm thinking and feeling them is not something I should feel ashamed of. They simply exist inside of me for me to process and work through. So eliminate judgment of yourself from the scenario.
Well, and along with that, recognizing, it's a bit of a dance. Sometimes it's a 2-step forward, 1 step back.
Yeah.
It's not, okay, I'm grieving, I'm done grieving, I will never grieve again.
Yeah.
Move on to acceptance, right? Like, what will change is the proportions, right?
Right.
It's staying in that grief. And I know you've talked about, for you with losing your mom, I mean, it's been 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
I never met her. But for you, it's not on the anniversaries and the birthdays and Christmas that sadness usually comes up. It comes up when, your child has done something special and you want to share that with her, or you've had a really hard day and she's the person that you want to call. And so even
or I eat like her favorite food or something.
Yeah.
Or I see a PT Cruiser driving down the street, which is what she drove. Like these are the things that'll bring that up for me. Yeah. But it's not as like right after the death and in the years right after, it was constant. And now it's once in a while. And when you talk about 2 steps forward and 1 step back, I have never had any progress in my life in anything that wasn't 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or 2 steps forward, 2 or 3 steps back, and then another step forward. Like we don't just, I don't know, you might march ahead, but.
What? But it's like even in those moments 15 years later that pop up, they're less than they were 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But in those moments, you still just allow yourself to be sad.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to be sad right now.
Yeah. I don't tell myself it's been 15 years, 16 years, like she's gone, let it go. I'm like, oh, today's going to be one of those days. Okay. They're far less frequent, like you said. They're far less frequent than they were 10 years ago. But okay, I guess this is a missing mom day, and that's okay. Speaking of recovering from hardship and what you should be doing versus, reality, a therapist said that dating after divorce is easy.
How would you know?
I don't know, but that's why I would never say that. But this therapist said that. What is our response? Check out the video.
What advice would you give someone who's gone through a hard experience, a death, a life-altering event? We want your best advice in the comments below. Tell us. We need to know.
Tell us now. Do it. Until next time, folks, keep shining. We need your light. And here is that video we were telling you about.
Check it out.
It's about dating after divorce.